Now, it's a business which has been central to the South Coast economy for 45 years. But this evening, the final P&O ferry is bidding adios to Portsmouth. The company's route to Spain is closing down. Let's join our transport correspondent, Paul Clifton. He's in the ferry port in Portsmouth tonight. A very, very wet ferry port, I understand. Welcoming home the last of the P&O arrivals, then.
It's drizzling pretty steadily, Sally, yes. The ferry here arrived a couple of hours ago, well ahead of schedule, with about 1,300 passengers on board, and that's about half full. But as an event to mark the ending of an era on the south coast, it was quiet, limp, unremarkable. There was no big fanfare, there was no fond farewell for the last P&O ferry. The Pride of Bilbao has seen better days. Run down and streaked with rust, the twice-weekly service to Spain has been a pale shadow of what was once the dominant cross-channel ferry company. Mary Lawrence joined the ferries straight from university in the 1970s. She worked on board for 30 years.
We had a 5-ship operation out of Portsmouth, and I think really the very best ships available to customers. It's changed rather dramatically. In 2005, most of the P&O ferry ships ceased to trade.
The ships used to be painted orange and called Townsend Torreson. You can trace the current company back to 1964, when it sailed from Southampton. Portsmouth poached the business in 1985, and 2 years later it was bought by P&O. Then, 6 years ago, P&O closed its routes to France. 800 jobs were lost in Portsmouth. The company had been losing money heavily, hit by the ending of duty-free booze, the Channel Tunnel, and the growth of low-cost airlines. Only the Spanish route remained. Gradually, British crew were replaced by cheaper agency staff from abroad. But yesterday, the rival Brittany Ferries said it would take over the Bilbao route next spring with this much newer ship. It thinks the route can make money, where P&O failed to do so.
We keep losing money on this service. We try harder and harder every year to try and get it into profit, and we just can't get the sums to add up.
And yet Brittany Ferries think they can.
Yeah, you know how to rub salt into the wounds, don't you?
Well, the ferry port is delighted that Brittany Ferries is stepping in. It means it won't lose a route. And that's important because the council-owned port is in the middle of building a new passenger terminal, which opens next year. Well, we spoke to some of the passengers as they came ashore on a P&O ferry for the last time.
Purely nostalgic. We've been doing it for 16 years out of our 17, so it's been very enjoyable.
We've been on 4 before, so we decided to have a last trip this time with the ship because we love going on it.
There's a load of complaints, so you'll hear about
We'll hear it all.
Saw whales, dolphins, really good. It was really good, yeah.
Well, P&O Ferries is now owned by the state of Dubai. The departure of this ship leaves Brittany Ferries, the rival, with a monopoly on services to Spain, as well as being the overwhelmingly dominant operator to France. It is the last time we'll see a P&O ferry on this part of the south coast.
Paul, thank you very much.